How you doing, folks? Got something kind of interesting here. There's Bucket's P51. It's going in the mail. We're boxing it up right now. You got to clean it up yet. Get the sticker on it. It's good to go. Good saw. So, tomorrow morning's mail. It's gone. Last. Jaimie Deluge. He's from Wisconsin. He sent me a little gem here. Jaimie, you're a good man. Tell me, would you mind putting buckets over there or clean it up? This is, I'm going to show it to you. Yeah, Jaimie sent me a P51 with a hell of a backstory. Really did. It's real interesting. It's got that little label on it still. This has been around a long time. These saws are old. We know that. I mean, compression. It's all compression. When I get done with it, won't have that much. But it'll be better. You know what we're going to do. You already seen it. This saw is going to be a bucket stock, Jaimie. I'm just letting you know that, buddy. I'm not getting rid of this. Ever. Gifts, I don't. He gifted this to me. He says, I think you need this. I'm probably going to screw this up, Jaimie, so anything I got wrong, correct it in the comments. You ain't going to hurt my feelings just because I got a bad memory. I talk to a lot of people every week, and sometimes I forget. Some of these, the backstories are cool on some of these saws. This came from, I believe, a local Pioneer dealer when they were in business. And the Pioneer dealer got it back. After the Pioneer went off the wayside, he sold pull-ins. Well, this Jaimie got a couple signs off the guy. He got a pull-in and a Pioneer sign. And to make a long story short, this saw here, he said, I seen that sitting in his shop for over 30 years up on a shelf. And I thought that was pretty cool. And so he gets some signs. Well, the man lets him have the saw. He said, well, here, just take it. He says, what is wrong with this saw? He says, what's it been there forever? I mean, it's like finding a 57 Chevy car with 10,000 miles in it on top of a barn or something. That's what this is like. And but there's a reason for it. This beautiful old saw with just all expression it was ever supposed to have has got a bad case gasket. It's leaking fuel into the bar oil. Okay, the chances of finding that gasket's slim to none. Maybe, if I look far enough. But I'll tell you what we're going to do with this. I can't do it for a little while because I got to get you guys' saws done. You know that. I am going to split the cases. When they're apart, there's mods I know I can do to this. When the cases are apart, we might play with this one just a little deeper. Well, we're going to see. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag what I got intended for this. But I want it reliable. I don't want to hurt it. And I want it strong. And I'll get that out of this saw because that's the right one. Buckin's got its equal. That first one, P51 that Buckin's got, it was that much compression. It was that nice. I'm really happy. This P51 we just built for is a pretty good one. I mean, there is no, you couldn't pick this one over that one or vice versa. But I'll probably end up building that case gasket. That's what I'll do. And if we get into doing that, and I got time, I'll show you how I do it. Doesn't mean it's right, don't mean it's wrong, it's just how I do things. But obviously there's a problem, and we're going to fix it. Because we can. This is an interesting set of cases because your fuel is right here. There's your seam, and there's your oil. Well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out if something's just a little bit goofy. You're going to have fuel go where you didn't want it. And it would have been kind of there's no dogs on it. Well, you know what's really funny about that? Oh, I didn't even see that before. You're going to get a charge out of this. At one point, there was a dog on it. We can find dog. I've always been wanting to build a custom set of dogs. Well, dog. You don't get two on this one, I don't think. But I can tell you what, this saw hadn't run with dogs on it. If it did, it didn't run very much. Right here is where your dogs ride. I've never took a saw apart that has had a dog on it that run very long, but what the paint was wore right off real fast. You know, one right there's a bolt hole, and right there's a bolt hole. And so there ain't even a chip of paint where the dogs were. But when you're talking a saw like this, you don't need dogs. No, you don't. So, you know, we got a P38 we're building for bucking. I fully intend on getting everything out of that it's got in it. Just to see. The old 125 versus 250 dirt bike thing. 125 is light, nimble, and fast. A good rider will give a guy on a 250 a bad day on a short track. And so I think it's smaller wood compared to P38 to the P51, you know, 20-inch is what I'm saying. I got an idea that little P38, when I'm done, is going to do a pretty good job. Where the P51 is going to shine, just like the 250 dirt bike versus a 125. Man, don't let that guy with that 250 get a long straight stretch. He'll eat you. Well, the same thing with the P51. What I think will happen is, even though the P38 will run right there with it in 20 inches smaller wood, when you get in the big stuff, I think there's where a P51 will shine. But a P38 is a lighter saw. It's more comfortable to run because of that. But you know, they had these old saws figured out. If you really stop and think about what I'm saying, you never made a nickel carrying a saw around. It was only when it was cutting. So you wanted to cut as much as you could, you know, this way it is. If you're bucking logs or bucking firewood, the weight of these saws right here is all you need. It just goes right down through. Just let the way the saw push the bar. It just works good. When you dog them in, they'll pull. They'll just keep right on going. They don't mess around. But so Jaimie, thanks, buddy. But I ain't done yet. You can't read the writing because this bar's got a lot of paint on it. I think maybe Jaimie or somebody has been starting to strip it off. I'm going to finish stripping that and get that back to a proper paint. Now, this is classified as a 24-inch bar. Now, if you remember, any of you guys remember the old Huskies, they had them dimples where you see right there in them. Well, that's the Husky bar did that. The same manufacturer built the bars for the Pioneer, is what I'm going to say. I don't know that for a fact. I'm just saying that looks familiar. It's just got to be. About every bar you ever seen on a Husky way back had them dimples in it, and some of the steels did too, if you want to know the truth. But it's the Pioneer bar. I can tell, not only does it say it, but the big hole, the hole with the big groove, you know, for oiling. Now, that's classified as a 24-inch. Bars used to be measured from the tip to the center of the holes. Now, what was that, 60 drivers? 60 drivers, I think. Yeah, it was 60 drivers, I believe. Now, this is a modern 24-inch. I'm going to show you the difference. See, that one's longer. They're figured to the face of the saw. It's 24-inch. They take 64 drivers on your chain, you know, your little hooky things that run around your sprocket like crazy. They've done that quite a long time ago. They started changing these. And when they first started doing it, used to give me fits. It says, give me a chain for a 24-inch bar. And the dealers didn't pick up on that at first, so they hand you one. And it was for the old one. You had a new bar. It's like, well, geez, that don't fit. Well, finally, everybody got together on the same page and says, okay, fine. We're just going to stamp on it how many drivers it's got. So then you say, I want a chain for 24-inch bar. Yeah, what's the bar stamped? How many drivers? Boom, there you go. Now, they're assuming these old bars like this are all gone. And they are. Except for this one. And if I went and just bought a chain for 24-inch bar for a Husky, it'd be too long. You got to have the proper amount of drivers. And I have ran into that. Now, something interesting. This is for a Husqvarna, the large frame. If you take material out of here and here, you got to take about 30 thousandths. And I just did that one of the Dremel. The oiler hole does line up. It's not as big, but it does line up on the saw. These will fit your Pioneers. The large frame Husky does. So I thought you would enjoy that. Look at that. Jaimie. I love it, man. Isn't that something? I wonder how many of these are still kicking around. Isn't that amazing? Jaimie sent me the chain for it. And it's sharpened just a couple, 3 times, 4 times it looks like. That's right where they start to cut. Now, I'm not going to run this before I take it apart because he told me he started it. And it does leak gas into the bar oil. No, I got it. I got this. Now, what's funny, that old feller that had the dealership that this saw came from, when Jaimie's talking to him, I hope I got it right. He said, oh, that saw sit there forever. He says, I'll bet you that'll start right up. We put gas in that. Jaimie told me, he said he pulled that about 10 times and it was running. Now, something's been sitting that many years, fire right up. There's a statement, isn't it? Yes, sir. That is a statement. Now, I learn from you guys as much as you guys learn from me. You keep this up. I like that. You guys are always sharing an email or in the comments information about things like, well, gee, I didn't know that. Well, one fellow left me a comment, and I think he's right. He says that I believe the 372 Husqvarna coil fits in some of them Pioneers. Really? What's the chances of that coil fitting in the Pioneer? When we take a starter cover off, we're going to find out. You know what I think? By looking at that bolt pattern, I think the man's spot on. I'll bet you it does. So there's something we're going to be looking forward to in the future to see if that happens. This is the kind of stuff I like. You guys will tell me things that I never would believe. Not one man in this world is smart. Many men are smart. And women. Speaking of which, I noticed in our subscribers, 6% of our population is female. I know that some of that is from guys choosing their girlfriends or their wives, thing. And I accept that. But I do notice some of the ladies are watching. Now, how many of you got your own power saws? That's what I want to know. Ladies, tell us in the comment section if you got your own power saw. Or if you run somebody else's. Because I want to know. When I went through Soren Ericsson's game of logging school way back there, the Nortem school, they weren't going to teach me how to cut. The only reason I was there is their insurance company made us. Nortem Insurance, remember them? And I was like, well, I tabletop. Bad idea, don't do that. So I'm the joker in the deck. Soren Ericsson himself, he picked that right up and he says, no, you, get up here. He handed me a wooden stake with a 4-pound hammer, and he says, we was just down over in PA ways, hour and a half away, and it was down by Cherry Springs where it was, and they used to do competition there, and there was this big cherry tree, nice open woods, and he says, I'm going to show you the value of this type of cutting of directional felling, and he says, you're going to pay attention after this. He says, anywhere in a 360-degree circle, he says, drive the stake. He says, drive it about 30 feet from the tree, and he says, I'm going to hit that stake, and I'm going to finish driving it for you. Okay. I know about side lean and back lean and everything. I picked the worst possible angle, and it was 4 foot out of center and 30 feet, for real. I'm not even joking. And side lean and back lean at the same time. So I put it the hardest place you could possibly pull it. There's no way he's going to hit the stake. So he drove the stake, and he looked at me. He says, okay. He says, it's going to take a few minutes. Man, he made his knots. He put his side wedges in, stacked his side wedges, started wedging that sucker over backwards. And you know something? He hit that stake, and he drove it. And I shut up, started paying attention. There was 2 girls in that class. There was 32 of us, I think. 2 of them were girls. And the one, well, I didn't really know she was a girl. Okay. And she's pretty stout. She was not heavy, boy. She was stout. She dressed like a guy. Well, the other one dressed like a guy, but he couldn't hide that she was a girl. It just wasn't going to happen. And you know, both them women went in there, and they were cutters. They came to this school because they were out production cutting. The one girl, she run skidder and caught, and the other one just caught. And they didn't work together, didn't even know each other. But I'm going to tell you what, them 2 women were just crazy good cutters. They were crazy good. And they were fit. They really were. They could, I would have said at the time that there's no women going to be able to work logging. I would have said that until I met them 2. Boy, they were rugged. They were tough, and you just knew they had 2-stroke in their blood. That's just the way it is. The one of them I ran into a few years later, and on a log job, and we got talking one thing another, and she went and started her own dang logging company, and she did it. She says, I'm getting tired of people, you know, that I want to be employed with saying, oh, I can't hire women for men's work. You know what? If they can do it, let them. Promote that. There are certain jobs in this world I don't think women should have. If it's something that's really mentally hard, I don't agree that women should be on frontline combat. Not with what I've seen. And it's not because I don't think they can do it. I think it's better if they don't. In fact, most of you probably already know. You're just better off not knowing what that is. You don't want to know. If you knew what the state of the affairs in the world was, those of you that's never been in the military, you wouldn't sleep nights. And it's always been that way. It's a sad thing. It is what it is. Yeah, I got it, Bill Block. It is what it is. Bill Block's been teasing me. You got to go over and check out some of these new videos he put up. Go look at Bill Block. It's just type in Bill Block, you'll find him. Killinger, you're doing good. I see your sub counts up a little bit. I like your videos, man. Give Killinger a shot too. Type in Killinger and go check him out. He does fine axes. He bought one of them G660 Holtzel Farmer Tech saws, the Blue Thunder. He got that going the other day. I think man's going to be happy with that saw. And for the price you pay for them, run it till it breaks, fix it. You can afford to. You really can. I've got one here that I'm very directly getting ready to put together from the bottom end up. I know the guy wants a saw because he makes a living with saws. We're gonna build that one on video right from the bottom end, and we're gonna build that as a 100cc saw. And I got to get that done. I got 2 more saws in the way first, but I wanted Buck and Saw done and back to him. And I thought next weekend I would be able to build a P38, but it looks like we got a snowstorm coming in, so I'm probably going to plow snow. But we'll get that in. But most importantly, we're getting saws built, and I'm loving it. Friends, be good. Stay in the comments. I love your comments. I always have. I always read them. That's when you're talking in the comments, it's like you're talking to me. So keep it up. Goodbye.